this video, I'm going to show you my top strategies you can use to generate more leads using AI, artificial intelligence. Now, AI is going to revolutionize the sales industry, and for a lot of people who don't know how to use AI, they're going to be left behind. They're going to struggle with all the changes that are happening. So if you want to make sure that doesn't happen to you and you can actually use this to your advantage, well, you better stick around because this video is going to cover it all. Now, I want to give a huge shout out for Clay for helping make this video possible, but more on them in a second. Now, here's how the world of sales is going to change. Back in the day, especially when I was a sales rep myself working at Oracle, one of the biggest challenges we had was that a lot of our salespeople had to do a lot of administrative work. So it's kind of crazy to think that, we would spend a majority of our day just moving data around. For example, if we were looking for hospitals and we're looking for the decision makers at these hospitals, we would have to go on LinkedIn, find all these different people, basically manually find all this data and put it into an Excel sheet. Because we spent half of our day just doing administrative work, we weren't really spending as much time selling. So the more time we spend selling, the more money we can make. The more money we make, the happier everybody is. So here is what's going to change. Instead of spending half your day or even 80% of your day on administrative work, especially if you're a sales development rep where you have to find all this data, AI is here to change the game. And so what I kind of want to do is talk about how Clay, which is our sponsor for this video, makes this possible. How does it work exactly? Well, essentially every company has different lists. Whether you bought a list or you already have a list or somebody gave you a list, or maybe you want to create your own list. So you have a list and you have different softwares, CRMs like HubSpot, Salesforce, and whatnot. What's next is you have to find all the different decision makers, how much budget they have, company size, if they just raise funding. So much data depending on who your ideal customer is, right? And so what Clay allows you to do is you're able to enrich this data using 75 plus enrichment tools to get the best data possible. So for example, if you want to go after companies who have raised $10 million and above, because that's an indicator to show whether or not they are a good fit to buy product and service, you just put the company names in here and you can auto-populate that and it will get you that information very easily. Or if you want to buy company headcount, how many employees they have, how much revenue they're generating. So all these different indicators can actually speed up your process when it comes to doing all this admin work so you can reach out to the appropriate person. And as you get more nuance, you'll figure out what type of person is best for your product and service. The more nuance you get, the better your outreach is going to become because you're speaking their language, you're speaking as if you did some research on their company. And the more personalized outbound messages are, especially with cold emails, the more likely someone is to respond to you. Now we can actually take this a layer deeper, which is adding your personal touch. So in the traditional days, when you did all this work and you finally got all the people you want to reach out to, you have to write an email individually to each person to personalize it, right? What if you want to give marketing advice to them, or you want to talk about a problem that you have and how you're going to solve it, right? Or something very custom. The more personal it is, the more likely they are to respond because it feels like you're connecting with another human being. Here's the crazy part. AI is able to kind of replace that time that you have to spend thinking about what can I do? How do I make it personal? And you can actually just prompt AI to do the work for you. Which is crazy, right? Because normally if you were to write that email by yourself, you would have to sit down, spend 20 minutes thinking about I need to think of an organic marketing plan for this company. But now, because the Clay has all this data, they're able to use that data to write things for you that have higher success of response. You're able to just do it really, really fast. And you can basically automate this out, meaning if you have a list of 50 people you want to do this for, you can just change those two little things and AI will actually do the personalization for you. Now that's amazing because how much time are you going to save because of this, right? Literally hours of your time per day. Not only that, but perhaps you're not the best copywriter, you're not the best emailer, perhaps this might actually be much more effective when it comes to increasing your response rate because it's taking all this data, taking all the best cold emails, all the best writing, putting it together and writing it for you. And if it's not good enough, you can keep prompting it and changing it a little bit so that it actually reaches the standard that you would want it at before you actually send it out. Now, the question remains, will AI replace human beings? I don't think so. Being in the sales game for a long time and doing sales myself, AI is never going to completely replace a human being. Now, it might replace certain jobs, it might replace certain things you do throughout the day, but it's not going to completely replace a person because people still want to talk to somebody on the phone or meet them in person. However, it's going to save you a lot of time in that it can do the personalization for you, it can find the data for you, it can populate your sheets for you with very valuable information that you can use later on to write a personalized cold email or whatever the case is. So it's just going to save you a lot of time. So anybody, coming in sales, you might be a sales development rep, business development rep, whatever the case, you're going to want to use AI because this is where the future is, and this is where your competition is heading as well. Everybody else is going to be using it. They're all going to save time. They're all going to blast these emails to everyone, trying to get higher response rate. And so the bar of what a cold email needs to be is going to get higher and higher and higher because people are going to get so personalized that it just speaks to them. It really reminds me of like advertising days, like Facebook ads, YouTube ads, because now you're able to get data on people and create a very specific targeted ad for that specific person that likes certain things, so that the chances of that person converting to a customer are much higher. Now we're doing it in the sales world with AI, and we're just kind of making B2B sales more personalized using this enriched data. If you're in sales and you do BD every single day and you are reaching out to people, you definitely need to use AI, because it's one of those things where if you don't keep up with the times, you're going to get left behind, especially if you're doing a lot of cold outbound. This is where the world is going. If you're interested in learning more about how you can do this for yourself, we have a link in the description to check out Clay, one of the top companies when it comes to enriching your data using AI and helping you write your outbound messages with AI. So you definitely want to check that out. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and I'm going to see you in the next one.